Your books don't have a quality problem, they have a motion problem. Man, if you publish low-content books on Amazon KDP, coloring, activity, or puzzle books, you absolutely know that quiet frustration. You do all the hard work to design, assemble, and publish a book, and then crickets. It just sits there in the digital graveyard, completely unseen. No views, no sales, not even a single review to prove a human being ever laid eyes on it. And it's so tempting to blame the book itself, right? But as the source material we're unpacking today points out, usually the book is perfectly fine.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really interesting piece of software called TubeForge, which claims it can solve this exact visibility crisis for KDP creators. We're going to look closely at the vendor's claims, but more importantly, we're running them through an impartial, independent review by ClickRatina. Our goal here is to deconstruct exactly how this tool works, what it actually costs, and whether it holds up to scrutiny, strictly based on the documented facts.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The static shelf problem. 2. The TubeForge solution. 3. How the software works. 4. The financial breakdown. And finally, the reviewer's verdict.
Part 1. The static shelf problem. Before we can understand the software, we first have to understand the core struggle of the independent publisher that it was built to fix.
Here's the deal. Amazon's search engine rarely surfaces low-content books on its own, which means there's basically zero organic discovery loop. Your book effectively becomes a static object on a shelf that nobody ever walks past. And if you try to hustle and promote it on free social channels, places like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Reels, or Pinterest, well, you hit a totally different wall. See, those platforms hand out reach based on one metric above all others: volume of movement. A static page simply doesn't move, which renders it practically invisible to the algorithm. This creates a really frustrating fork in the road for publishers. The old way means you're stuck bidding on expensive Amazon ads, where you might break even if you're incredibly lucky, or paying a freelancer $25 to $75 for a single book trailer, or wrestling with complex editing software all afternoon just to squeeze out one clip. The proposed TubeForge way tackles this completely differently. It takes the static pages you already own and turns them into dynamic videos in about a minute, for $0 each. Part 2. The TubeForge solution. So how exactly does this tool take a static page and transform it into a video that the algorithms actually want to push? Let's look at the core thesis. Now, what's really fascinating here is the psychology at play. The developers built this software around something they call the finish line loop. Think about it. If you watch anyone scrolling past a coloring video, they almost never swipe away. Why is that? Because a half-colored page creates an open loop in the brain. The brain literally needs to see the picture finished. It's wild, but this exact mechanism is the entire reason the oddly satisfying genre is one of the most watched categories on Earth. To capitalize on that, TubeForge provides different satisfying process templates to capture attention. You can choose a smooth marker coloring effect or a bright rainbow sweeping fill. These styles specifically cater to the exact aesthetic that short-form video algorithms measure and reward, holding the viewer's attention as they eagerly wait for the final piece to snap into place. According to the source material, a page needs 3 very specific things before anyone stops scrolling. First, that open loop we just talked about. Second, motion, that the feed rewards, meaning stroke-by-stroke progress paired with subtle camera movements to keep the whole frame alive. And third, which is absolutely crucial, original content. See, TubeForge doesn't use AI to redraw or reimagine your art. It animates the real page exactly as you drew it. This is a massive point, because using AI-mangled art or recycled stock clips is exactly what gets faceless channels demonetized for reused content. Part 3. How the software works. All right, now that we understand the psychology and what the output looks like, let's shift gears and look at the actual mechanics to see how it delivers on these promises. So, TubeForge runs entirely in your web browser. Literally nothing to install. But there's a very crucial technical detail highlighted by the independent review. The rendering happens locally on your own computer. Your files and your artwork are never uploaded to an external server. That means your intellectual property never leaves your machine. That is a huge peace of mind benefit right there. The actual process is broken down into 3 super simple steps. Step 1, you just drop your whole PDF into the app and it automatically splits the pages for you. Step 2, you select your coloring style, pick from over 50 viral top text hooks, and choose your copyright-free music and ASMR sound effects. And step 3, you export a clean, high-definition vertical MP4 video. This specific workflow means a publisher could literally turn a single 30-page book into a full month of daily posts in one sitting.
It's completely faceless, no camera, and absolutely no voiceover required.
Part 4. The financial breakdown. Let's see how this workflow builds into the financial reality of the tool, because generating views on these platforms is, at the end of the day, a numbers game.
The core front-end price of TubeForge is exactly $17, and that is a one-time fee. It's not a monthly subscription, there are 0 recurring bills, and this front-end license lets the user render up to 50 videos right out of the gate.
The true math of content volume becomes crystal clear when we compare the alternatives. Because social algorithms reward posting frequency above almost anything else, your cost per video matters immensely. If you pay a Fiverr freelancer $25 to $75, well, that's your cost for just one video. Subscriptions to Canva or CapCut, that's going to cost you monthly forever, not to mention the drain on your time. TubeForge costs $17 once, making the per video cost for your daily posting volume effectively $0. When volume dictates reach, making volume free is a real game changer.
Part 5. The reviewer's verdict. Now, obviously, sales pages always sound fantastic. That's why we're turning to the independent evaluation by ClickRetina. We need to fact-check the vendor's claims and see how the product actually holds up in the real world.
One of the most revealing tests ClickRetina performs is a funnel cross-check. They verify the advertised pricing against the actual live Warrior Plus affiliate dashboard. Interestingly enough, there is a 100% exact match across the entire funnel. Every single price for the front end and the optional upgrades matches the vendor's claims perfectly. In an industry sometimes known for hidden fees and surprises, an exact match like this is actually pretty rare, and it serves as a very strong positive transparency signal.
ClickRetina also evaluated the refund policy, and they noted it as firm but actually explained. The vendor plainly states right up front that all sales are final. However, instead of hiding behind a wall of vague legal jargon, they provide a concrete technical rationale. Because the software renders videos locally in your browser, your files never touch their servers. Therefore, there is 0 server-side usage to dispute or refund. The reviewer actually praised this level of candid, nonsense explanation.
So, boiling down the independent review, here is the real takeaway. You should objectively consider this tool if you have KDP books sitting unseen, if you'd rather chase free organic traffic instead of burning money on ads, and if you specifically want to create faceless content. On the flip side, skip it entirely if you're looking for a magic get-rich-quick button, if you expect the software to somehow auto-post to social media for you, because it absolutely doesn't, or if your book simply has fundamental quality issues that no amount of marketing can fix.
We've seen the logic behind the algorithms, the mechanics of the software, and the verified transparent pricing. It all comes back to one single concept. The hard work is already done. The books are published. So, does your static KDP catalog just need a little motion to finally be seen? It's a fascinating question, and one that might just completely change how you view your publishing strategy moving forward. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and